putting our oysters into, or your oysters into Owl's Creek, which is this body of water that is running right past the aquarium that opens up to Rudy's Inlet into the Atlantic Ocean. So we actually built a reef structure right off of our nature trail deck. And so there is old shell from other oyster clams that they're going to adhere to. And we also have a section that is made out of concrete called oyster castles. So they can also adhere to that hard structure because they need to do that in order to continue to grow and survive. So we're going to go put them in different places around that spot just to make sure that we've spread them out evenly.
Very good. Awesome. And there's Miss Bianchi. She
Hi,
has
everybody.
some safety gloves on.
Welcome.
Yes, and it's sprinkling a little bit, but it's sunny, so
we
I'm
need to
thinking
take our actual boat
we're
out.
going to see a rainbow. And the other thing I wanted to share with you guys
You need to take it with you
is
over
the
the
day
summer.
that
You're
we
welcome
usually
to.
have our Solution to Ocean Pollution Summit at Seatack. We're not there, so we're not having it, but we are celebrating World Oceans Day, which is actually on Monday, and we're going to take care of these oysters. And you all know why we have oysters and take care of them.
What's happening in that one?
Our waterways
It's got some algae and sea lettuce.
at our water. Where are we checking out, Miss Bianchi?
So we are looking at the oysters. It's really low tide right now, so ours are out of the water. And you can also, those of you that have ever been near low tide, it's stinky. And across the way here, I don't know if you can see it, those are all oysters sticking up. So they're visible because if we remember, they are intertidal, meaning they can be underwater and out of the water. So today we're going to take them out of the net. We're going to pull the actual nets out and take our baby oysters out to measure them. And then we will put them in their new home.
And the last time we measured them, we collected that data, and we're going to see how much bigger they were since, what was it, about 3 weeks ago?
I think so.
Yeah, about 3 weeks ago, we were doing that.
So Miss Culver, if you want to show them in the float how our net is totally out.
So we're
that's
checking
okay.
out the at our float where it says Seatack. You can see our net is completely out, and that signifies how big they've gotten, right?
Well, no, it's how low the tide is.
Oh, I'm sorry. Excuse me. How low the tide has gotten.
Because this is actually, it's actually just kind of in the mud right here.
Yeah.
There we go. Let's see. There's a crab pot in my way. Oh, oyster cage. All right.
Usually we would be taking our 1st and 4th graders on a field trip, and they would be transcutting them themselves and wishing the oysters well and giving them some oyster cheers.
out.
But we are doing this as our virtual field trip on a Great Friday.
Yes, Miss Culver, we want them to start thinking of possible wishes for their oysters. Keep those in mind for when we...
So we want you to keep in mind some oyster wishes, and you could type down below some oyster wishes that you would like. Usually we write our oyster wishes on our oyster when we toss them into the water, but we would love for you to say something down below.
And a good memory, Miss Culver, is remember last year I think we wrote a lot of BB Strong wishes.
This time last year, it was the time when our community came together with the hashtag #BeBeStrong, so we had a lot of that. This year we have a pandemic, so we are really wanting to wish our oysters well. So,
Ooh, they are big.
someone
They've
commented
gotten
and said,
really
"This is
big.
awesome. Thank you for sharing." Of course, and they are very big. Look at those.
They're some of the biggest ones I've ever seen that we've grown. All right, we're gonna leave the. Oh my goodness! Miss Bianchi's workout again.
Okay.
You got it?
Yep.
It's heavy.
Let's bring them over here. I'm going to put them on this nice deck.
Crab is trying to come with me. Wait, there's more, Miss Culver.
I know. And this is not as heavy, but these are some of the biggest ones that Miss Bianchi
Those are the
said.
smaller ones.
These are the smaller ones. We had to put them in both floats.
I
And then we're
the
gonna.
biggest I've ever seen.
I feel like we just saw them and they
I
weren't
know.
that big.
I think it was about around spring break time.
So if you joined us last time, you'll remember we transferred them into different nets. And so our little guys stayed in the net with smaller holes. So I'll bring this your way. So this one has much smaller holes for the water to go through, but so the oysters don't fall out. And then this one has a lot bigger holes, and you can see that they had a lot of space. So let's see how they did. I know based on how heavy they are, they're pretty big. Probably the biggest I've ever had in 5 years. I wonder, Miss Culver, why they're so big. I wonder if we can maybe make some predictions.
So the last time we were thinking about the temperature of the waters over the winter, and we did say that the temperature was mild. We had a very mild winter. So we were wondering if the temperature of the waters affected the growth of the oysters as they have in the previous past.
Okay, so let's dump in the bucket and then we can pull some out.
Okay? Wow.
I know, they're huge.
Exciting! Look at that. You guys are great parents.
There we go.
Wow.
That is the biggest bunch I've ever
That
seen.
is so, and it doesn't smell as fresh as we would like, but that's the way nature and the environment is sometimes.
So we can see these are pretty large for only being about, let's see, they were born in October.
Yep.
So not even a year old and a year of growth. Let's see if I have any really big ones. That first one that fell out, that was really good. Miss Culver, should we maybe measure a few?
Yeah, let's measure a few.
Trying to see.
Boys and girls, I just want you to know that we are practicing social distancing. We did take our masks off, but we are staying away from each other, and we are wearing our gloves as scientists do for safety.
And we're outside.
And we're outside.
Whoa.
That makes it great. Look at that.
It's huge. Now, if you guys remember, partly why I'm wearing gloves is, yes, it's very dirty, but these edges are getting sharper and sharper as they grow. So you can see how spiky that is. So especially if you're walking around First Landing or anywhere that there's an oyster bed or a colony, you always want to make sure you have shoes on. If not, you will probably end up in the emergency room.
And if you guys were on the field trip with us, you would have to wear some closed tennis shoes.
Yes.
I remember one of our first grade teachers wore flip-flops one year, and he lost his footing.
And also, the Native Americans, especially the Powhatan tribe, would use oysters for tools. So with them being the shark, there was a lot they could use them for.
Right.
Oh, Miss Culver, I found one that's open. Do you remember what that is?
Does anyone remember why they were open? That's right. They are no longer alive.
But this one is still connected, so we will leave them connected as they form, as Rachel said, a colony, and they will live together. They will keep this shell. So if you ever eat oysters, throw the shells back in the water.
And someone wrote a comment. I just couldn't see what it was.
Yeah, I can read it. So here's our really dirty bag. This one was on top. And Miss Culver, I wonder why the one that was exposed to the sun has more growing on it. What do you think?
So I think because the vegetation saw the light and that increased the temperature, which made it grow.
And the sunlight gives it food,
Exactly.
right?
Yep.
Photosynthesis.
Lots of sea lettuce.
Lots of sea lettuce.
Photosynthesis. Yes.
All right, Miss Culver, here we go. Ready? Look,
Yep.
these are our smaller ones.
Okay, here we go.
We'll see how big they got. They might have started growing on the net. That happens sometimes. You might have to reach in there.
Let's reach in there.
Let's see some of the smaller ones.
There's not many.
Not many, they're okay. There wasn't too many. They all grew pretty well. So these are still, oh, my fiance's calling me. We lost it.
Can you do the where she can see it and turn it, where she can see what people are saying?
What, is it?
Can we go
Yeah.
live again?
Keep going.
Yep.
Sorry about that phone call. So as you can see, our smaller ones are still pretty big, but they're definitely much smaller than what we would consider our very big ones to be.
Yeah,
So-
some of them are really small.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and measure just a few and then we'll take them to their new home. All right, Miss Culver, should we, there you go.
Thank you.
Hand some to you. Oh,
Sure.
do you want to start with a really big one?
Yeah, let's do a big one.
How about this guy?
Sounds great.
You're putting it at the end of the ruler, right?
Correct. So this one is exactly 3 inches long.
All right, and then what about our little guy? Let's see what our range is here. Oh, and the rain is
And
coming.
the rain is coming, but we are fine. This one is only 1 inch long.
So I think our biggest is probably 3,
Mm-hmm.
maybe 3.5.
Want to do another one just to
Yeah, I was trying to
collect
see if
some
we had
data.
another big one. But that one, he's wider. Thank you to our helpers for standing in the rain with us.
Yes. The aquarium is our best friend. They're the greatest neighbors from Seatack because they're right next door to us. This one is 2.5. And this is just a squall, a small rainstorm that will go away in a minute. Or not.
Yeah, we're going to start walking in just a
Scientists have to
second.
deal with weather and all sorts of other
These
things.
are 2 inches.
All right.
So we have a range from 3, 2.5, 2 to 1 inch. This is 1.5 inches. So 1 all the way up to 3
So maybe
inches.
out of those, somebody could figure out the average and send it to us out of what we have.
Yep, that would be great. I think if Andrew's watching, he could figure that out. He loves math.
I think some of the Keys kids as well.
Yep.
All right, let's take these to their new home.
Ready to back up the trail. We can leave anything